Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Africa Talk Sports podcast, where African sports speak for itself. Today, we are joined by a key figure in Africa sport diplomacy, someone who has not only led Cabo Verde's Paralympics movement with unwavering commitment, but who bring nearly a quarter century of experience on the world stage. He has represented his country and his athletes across 6 consecutive editions of the Paralympic Games, from Athens 2004 to Paris 2024, spanning 24 years of dedication, include Beijing, London, Rio, and Tokyo. He is the president of the National Paralympic Committee of Cabo Verde, the second vice president of the African Paralympic Committee, and also served as the honorary consul of Colombia in Cabo Verde. Please welcome Mr. José Rodrigo Bejarano. Rodrigo, welcome to the Africa Talk Sports. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much, Mustafa. I'm very happy to be here with you. So Africa Talk Sport is very important. So I hope we can do a very good presentation and give some information about the para sport in Africa.
Yes, so thank you very much for being with us today. With over 2 decades of serving in the Paralympic movement, you have seen the transformation of Africa parasport firsthand. So let's begin this journey together, starting with your personal background before we dive into the challenge and opportunities for Africa parasports. So let's go to the beginning. How did your journey in parasport begin, and what were the first year like leading the NPC of Cabo Verde? What did it look like on the ground?
So this is very interesting because I see many of us who are involved in para sport, we start almost the same. We have the same pathway. So we start as volunteers in any of the association working with disabled people, not exactly in sport. Because I have my background, I mean, I study physical education and sport. So I put this voluntary skill to sport. That way, I become part of the adapted sport. The first was adapted sport in Cabo Verde was
Okay.
in '98. In '96, we start doing some introduction of the adapted sport in Cabo Verde for the first time, and in that time I was the one of the staff of the basketball federation. So that is my specialization is basketball. So I start doing my voluntary. So and I saw that in Cape Verde we have not adapted this sport. So the first invitation to do something was for the president of the Cape Verdean Association of Disabled People, and he would like to introduce his sport, but he's looking for somebody who knows sport and to go into the adapted sport. So they call me and
Yes.
say we have this project. What do you think? I in my university I studied in the Soviet Union in that time in Ukraine. So we didn't study any adapted sport. That was not in the curriculum. I say, okay, let's see this challenge. I would like to see what happened. And the first
Yeah.
competition, we training only 1 month because we were invited to Senegal, to Dakar. So the first ever competition I was with two athletes, deaf athletes. We went to Dakar for the athletics competition and we won the first ever gold medal for Cape Verde at the international competition, any. That was the
Yeah.
athlete in 98, early 8, 98. And we come back with the gold medal in 1500 meter with the deaf. I be careful, Mustafa. In that time, we had now athletic track and field. We had not track and field in our country in that time. No, now we have, but in that time was not. So try to imagine four run. That is 1500 meters. We have not. So the guy that the good was the guy was a football player. He was very had very good physical condition, and he won
Mhm.
four round. So that was easy, easy. In that time, I decided to start to introduce and to develop the adapted sport in Cape Verde, 98.
Okay, so that does mean that from the first competition, that's where you realized that the movement had the power to reshape national identity and international diplomacy, right?
Exactly, because when we come back to Cape Verde, there was like a very the news. We had not international sport champions, so we come back, and because the guy, the winner, was deaf, I myself I speak for them, so that was true. So I tried to explain how important was for the athlete in the first moment, and then for the Association of Disabled that never, so that was new, totally new for the country. And that was great
Yeah,
because I saw how important is to be including in something in the society that never been included.
yeah,
That was
yeah. Sure.
fantastic.
But how was the process? How was the process when you decide to create the national Paralympic committees in Cabo Verde? Was it an easy process? Were you supported by the government? How did that work for
No, there
you
was a
at the beginning?
personal and with some of my colleagues in sport, I mean physical education teacher and training. My friend, I call them and I say, I would like to organize some activities adapted. So wheelchair running in the street, just to enjoy, just to give the opportunity of that people. I mean, this group with disabilities. This is people with the wheelchairs to do sport, just to do sport,
Yeah,
and then we decide, yeah,
to enjoy your life
and that
playing
was
sport.
that the
Yeah.
people I was on the street, and I contact the people on the street and say, hey, I found some people. I say, hey, do you want to do a ride? In which they say, what, me? No, I never been in sport. I said, okay, let's go. I will give you T-shirt, Coca-Cola or something to drink, and if you win, I will give you medal. Medal, okay, I like it. Okay, let's go. So I have a group of about eight guys on wheelchair,
Okay.
and we just do a round in the street. And that was the only street with asphalt in the city. The other was
Hmm. Hmm.
pave. That means the rocks. So that was very interesting. And then I say, okay, let's organize. Let's organize. And we create the CCD. CCD is the Committee of Sport for Disabled only. That was
Okay.
not the
Yeah.
Paralympic. No, that was nothing. I didn't know that that was Paralympic exist in '98. So we
Yep.
decided to create a special association that is a committee of sport for disabled in Cape Verde, only in '98, early '98. And then it was very, I don't know, I was lucky, man. Did show that in the TV, and the people knows. And then from the Ministry of Education or something, yes, they sent an invitation to somebody candidate for a specialization in Japan in '98. So that was in English. So the only candidate was, of course, Rodrigo, who is a crazy man who started doing this sport for disabled. I applied and I
Yeah.
won. So I went to, in the same year, '98, I went to Japan for a specialization uh,
In
in
para
para
sports.
sport. So
Okay.
when I come back after 3 months, I had introduction in Verde. So we decide to consolidate the association and we start to do more and more activities. That was a very fantastic history. That was very
Yeah, but you have built something meaningful from the ground up. Let's now explore how the long journey took you and your athletes to the world bigger stage. Talking about the world bigger stage, you have attended so far 6 Paralympic Games from Athens to Paris 2024. How would you describe the evolution of the games and of African participation during that period from Athens to Paris 2024?
look for us was in that time Cape Verde had many challenges. A new country. In this year, for instance, in 25, we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the independence. 50,
Independence, yeah.
only
Yeah.
50. So I am older than my country.
Yeah.
So that's what they have in that time. We have many challenges: health, education, transport, infrastructure, many. So I saw that was very important to see outside the country, just to looking
So,
for partnership, sponsorship, or something. That was good. That was good because many institutions, including the Paralympic Committee, was involved in
mhm,
new countries, new NPCs, new National Paralympic Committee. So I applied
mhm,
several times for grants to introduce something, to do something, and they say, okay, this is a new country, let's give them opportunity to get the grant. So
mhm,
that was not easy, but we were. I was always like be realistic. We are a small country with 9 islands. It's not easy to go to other
mhm,
islands. So we focus in
mhm,
the city. Bahia City is the capital of the Cape Verde. So we try to do activities in the city locally. So that was great. Then was the opportunity. That's try to imagine. We started in '98, then '99, 2000 till 2004. We had the opportunity to participate in the first ever for Cape Verde Paralympic game in Athens.
mhm.
Of course, you
Yeah.
can imagine that was like the win a gold medal. Just to see our flags, just to see our athletes. We had two athletes, one male,
Mhm.
one female, with wild card, of course, wild card. We have not high
Good.
level
Mhm.
athletes. We have to start learning about the para sport and everything. That was very, very beautiful, very nice. And the people were surprised because we were in the Paralympic game with athletes with disability, para athletes. So that was what? Even we don't have developing the sport and we have para athletes in the Paralympic Games? What is that? So that was very good for us. We were successful in that time and we continue every games in the next 2008 we one more
Mhm.
time we get a wild card, but in that time 4 years we start learning everything about the classification, the
So, okay.
opportunities on which sport we could be better, you know and so I myself, as you know, I have two post graduation in sport administration. So in that
Mhm.
time till Paris, I put all my knowledge, all my experience to get something. In 2012, we have only one wild card and one qualified. In 2000 in Rio,
Fine.
we have two qualified, one world champion. World champion we have.
Wow.
In
Yeah.
every edition,
The
improve,
evolutions, yeah. You can see
evolution
evolutions,
and
yeah.
improve. And now in the last Paris, we qualified two athletes that they start and train in Cape Verde because before we have in the diaspora. So we
That was in the
Yeah,
okay,
there are
okay.
guys in Portugal, and the other after gone to London. So we for the Paralympic game for a long time we participate with para athlete in the diaspora.
Just
Yeah,
just for
yes.
but for Paris, it
The,
was
the
different
first
because
time,
they was
yeah,
coming from Cabo Verde, was
in
training in
Cabo
Cabo
Verde,
Verde,
this is
and
the
there was local
result
athletes.
of the all 20 years
The
training
progress.
condition,
Yep,
and we qualified the two-person training and selected in Cape Verde. Of course, they do.
that's
Okay,
wonderful.
they did some campus in Portugal, in other countries, but they, you know,
Yeah, they're based
based in
in
Cape
Cabo
Verde.
Verde, and that's a
This is
really good
evolution.
point, and that's what we should all
Yes,
work on to make sure our athletes can be able to
yes,
work and or even train in their
yes.
countries, and give them all the possibility also to travel and come back in their countries. Yeah. So, but talking about the processes, like for example, uh, the challenge that you face maybe on accreditation issue, travel funding. How was it at the beginning? As you was telling, like for example, going to Athens, was it that easy? Just like coming into the world of the Paralympic Games like that for the first time. How was the the challenge that you guys faced on that time?
Saying personally, of course, the first that was 2004 in Athens, the first time. So try to imagine to
Yeah.
get the visa. But in that time, we got the visa because they sent the document, the document from the organization and from the Paralympic Committee, International Paralympic Committee, that we are athletes who will participate in Athens. So that was a process, no easy, but we got the visas. We traveled from Cape Verde to Lisbon, Portugal, and then to Athens. So that was the first time, even for me, travel with a para sport for the Paralympic Games. Totally new. This is very exciting moment. The first time ever participate in Paralympic Game. Have the flag and all the uniform. That was totally nice challenge, of course. But we took this experience to improve ourselves as a representative of the country, as a professional, as a person. We decide to be as much as possible focus in that. Focus, learn everything, you know, administrative, logistic, everything, athlete, technical. That was very good experience. Of course, we learned a lot of, and every edition, as we say, we try to improve. The quantity of
Yeah.
the quantity of athletes was the same, two, only two, never three or four, only two, because there is a balance for the biggest country can go with more athletes. Small country like Cape Verde
Mm.
with 500,000 people, so we have only two slots. So something like that,
So yeah.
male and female.
And when it's come to Paris 2024, how did you prepare the milestone event? As you're saying, you had your athletes based in Cabo Verde. How was the preparation? Because by experience, you guys start like normally a normal National Paralympic Committee would start the preparation right after an Olympic game finish for the next 4 years. How was it in your case? How did you manage to to make that milestone or even to make those athletes being able to qualify for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games?
Okay, we saw that the only training and compete in Cape Verde is not enough. So we need to go outside to find more competition, regional, I mean West Africa, in Europe is close to compete. They must to compete. But I would like to share this experience with all our the people who are listening and are following this program. Cape Verdean, the diaspora of Cabo Verde is very unique. Normally, when we go, we contact the diaspora, the Cape Verdean diaspora. In Paris, try to imagine we have more than 100,000 Cape Verdeans. In
Oh,
Paris,
that's
in
huge.
Paris, I think it's something like 50,
Mhm.
50,000 Cape Verdean. So during the edition, we realized that the diaspora is very proud of the participation of our country in the game. So we did contact the diaspora and we contact
Mhm.
the embassy of France that they know that we have a big diaspora over there,
Community,
and we
yeah.
contact and we
Mhm.
plan a period for pre-games training 4 hours away of Paris in the diaspora
Yeah.
place, very good condition, almost for free. Everything was the diaspora do it, and they did a very good job. Find a place.
Yeah, yeah.
They found a place. We went there almost 3 weeks before Paris. Everything
Mhm.
paid, good condition. The human resources were high level in athlete. They collaborate with us. That was fantastic. So even we had the opportunity to convince that place that was Partenay, the Partenay in
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
the close to the region of Paris, to invite other African countries. So we invite
Wow.
Angola athletes, Guinea-Bissau athletes, Mozambique athletes, Saint Tome and Principe
Right.
athletes, and they were there for almost 2 weeks. We
Fantastic.
convince the people, say, no, we have other countries, very limited condition, and they say, okay, bring those guys. They will enjoy you,
Yeah.
and they got all the conditions. That was a very nice. That was like a party, sport party, sport carnival festival. And then we went to Paris. And when we went to Paris, of course, the community Cape Verdean, the African community is big. You know that is very big. It's huge. So we enjoyed totally the last Paralympic game. Of course, we didn't win medals, but the participation was great. It was very nice. So, just to do a resume, we now know how important is the diaspora. The diaspora is very important.
Yeah.
Even as you say, finish Paris, we immediately in November, in December, we went to LA and contact the diaspora. So we have already,
Yeah, I saw it. I saw
yeah,
it. Yeah, with the president, with Filomena
yes,
Fortes, the NOC president of Cabo Verde. I saw that you've been in LA
yes.
and been really in a good company with
And
your
another
diaspora.
point, very important, is that we have a very good relationship with the Olympic Committee. So the Olympic and Paralympic Committee of Cape Verde, we are as a family. In fact, the president of the Olympic Committee of Cape Verde is Filomena Fortes. She's
Yes,
member
yeah,
IOC. She is IOC
yeah.
member,
It's in the
and he
ICC.
was one of the founders of the Paralympic Committee in Cape Verde in '98. So try to imagine. We are
Yeah.
very with the
So talking about the Olympic Committee in Cabo Verde, are you guys maybe in the future considering to put together the two institutions, like for example what South Africa already did, or any other countries now? Because what we're seeing now in the world, the NOCs are more now openly to welcome the NPC inside the organization. Are you
yes,
guys thinking to consider that
yes,
possibility?
definitely. We are doing
That's
even
wonderful.
we at Black Hat and lobbying to other countries to do the same because many of African countries ask me, "Hey, Rodrigo, how you do this in your country?"
With
So
Buenos Aires.
organized.
Yeah.
So I say, "No, we have a a very good partner. The partner is the Olympic Committee. We in Cape Verde, the president of the Olympic and me as a president of the Paralympic, we think that sport is only one. Only one.
Mm-hmm.
Flag.
Yep. And that's
The
how it should be.
flag is
Yep.
the same.
Same.
In last time we won the para athlete, we won the first bronze medal ever in Rio 2016. The
16,
president
yeah.
of the Olympic Committee in that time was not president of the Olympic. She was included in the staff, and she
Yes.
cried like me when we won the medal. Even now, even now, they won a medal. They won a medal
In
in
boxing,
in
boxing, I
boxing.
think
Yes, that
they
was
win
the
in
second
boxing.
for
Yeah.
our country. The first was Paralympic,
Yeah.
and the second one for box. That one
Yep.
for us. We
Olympic.
have two. We always say we have
Yep.
two medals. What, two? Yes, one in Paralympic and one in Olympic. And
Olympic,
in this
yes.
moment, this is very good information I gave you. The Olympic Committee is built the new headquarter of the Olympic, new headquarter
Yes.
in Cape Verde. They put in
Exactly.
the plan architecture in the plan the space for the Paralympic Committee. All
That's
the
wonderful.
space, all the building, everything are adapted for people with disability.
That's,
And the idea is to
that's
have only one body. Only one body
mm,
is
yep.
sport,
And I
Olympic
think
and Paralympic.
that's what we need to do in Africa because the founding when it's come to the Paralympic movement is very
Yes.
limited, and together we go more
Yes.
stronger than separate. And I think that's the best way to do it. From the athlete support and the diplomacy logistic, can you tell us what was the experience behind the scenes from athletes, the diplomacy and logistics, and also like if you have any anecdotes that where maybe when you sit down you think about it and you just laugh, they're like, wow, that was a milestone, or this thing happened. So what was those moments today that you think about again and just that make you laugh, even if it's from Paris or Rio or any other moment during the Olympic Games, the Paralympics?
Yes. Now the Paralympic Games are maybe in the five most popular, spectacular sport event worldwide. So now this is very good that as a president of the Paralympic Committee, I was invited for all the reception in the French embassy in Cape Verde during after Tokyo till Paris. So
Yep.
I received invitation and everything. I said, what? Because they
Yep.
realized, I mean, the embassy of France, they received the the information that is very important, the Olympic and Paralympic. So now
Hmm.
in any country, it's very easy to contact the embassy of the country who will organize the games. So
Again,
let
yeah.
me give you an example. Now we this year, no, last year after Paris, we had a meeting with the embassy of America of United.
The
Yes,
US. Yeah. Yeah.
why? Because they know that the next game will be in LA, so they they accept. So they invite us to sit and to analyze together a program and condition and everything to smooth the participation for the LA for the award. So the
Hello.
people around the world know that the para game are very important for the
Important.
society. Is a tool. The sport is a tool for inclusion. Very many people following any news about the sport in our country. We are very popular. The media are following us. We have a lot of in Facebook very followers. So this is very good in this moment to use the sport when you have organizing organize it institution, it's very easy
Mhm.
to go and to do some advocacy, lobby, and something, because the Paralympic movement in this moment is very important in the world.
In the world, yeah. But now that we have explored what happened on the ground in Paris, and let's step back and take a look at the bigger picture, the state of Africa parasport overall. So, what do African Paralympic athletes truly need today beyond medal and visibility?
But we need to have in consideration that Africa is big. We have 54 countries and we
Mm-hmm.
have almost 50 NPC. So the biggest region in the world is Africa. We have 50
Africa.
countries with Paralympic National Committee. We have different levels of developing para athletes. We have on very big and gold, uh, silver, and bronze medal winners like South Africa, very strong. You know, Egypt, Egypt, very strong. Tunisia, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Morocco, very strong. Nigeria, strong. You know, there are some countries that have high level, many medals. They can go in the to the Paralympic game and win 20 medals. Just try to imagine.
To the
For Cabo
medals, yeah.
Verde, won one medal that was the best, and bronze. That was bronze. So that is the difference between. Of course, there is a middle table countries like, I don't know, Cameroon, for instance, Angola, for instance, Namibia. Some of that countries, you know, they won. Ethiopia, Kenya. Yeah. Some of them, they they
Mm-hmm.
got medals, not to development. There is in the medium level, and then we have the small countries, including Cape Verde. So we are trying to participate, but no, now is not just to participate, to compete. The idea
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
now is to compete, to go to the competition, not just participation. This is all idea. For that, the Paralympic Committee is doing everything to give the condition to the new athlete to get the level for international competition. Yes. For instance, we have an athlete, Throw javelin. He is the second in Africa. The second in Africa, you know. And our girl, she's blind, T12, run with the guide. So she's in the 10 best in Africa. So
In
yes,
Africa,
so
it's wonderful.
why? Because the condition we have that they really go to the Paralympic game to compete, not only to participate. So that is the idea. If we have so big continent, region, we call region, like Africa, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to organize competition, different athletic, football, wheelchair basketball, sitting volleyball, powerlifting. That is not easy because now any competition must have the standard for the international
That's
competition. Very good condition,
the
stadium, public accessibility, broadcasting, publicity, condition for the hotels, referees, staff of classificators. So the list is big. So of course we are trying to get that level. Trying to get that level. It's not easy. It's a challenge.
Mhm.
Why? Why?
Challenge.
Because in Africa we have the 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 situation of the para athlete is very sensitive.
Sensitive,
Yes,
yeah.
we have normal different challenge. Even there are some athletes they have nothing to eat at home. So how they
Home,
can
yeah.
have a special food for athletes. That is very nutritious and very special, you know, food
Mhm.
to be to become a high level athlete, to have results, you know. So that is the situation. The situation is
So now that you are talking about the conditions of the athletes, so what role should governments, federation, and corporate sponsor be playing today to help or support resolve that situation? Because we know that to practice sports, there's a lot of things that an athlete needs. And we're talking about a yearly over $20,000, are the founding for a para athlete to be able to compete, to travel, to have everything needed for him or her to be able to perform. What the support that you think it should come from the government and any other institution?
yes, that is a big challenge to convince the different partners to see the para athlete as a high level athletes. You know, they they continue think that this is and this is inclusion, but it's very important. You know that in Africa there are some countries that the best athlete are para athlete and not Olympic, are Paralympic, are the best. For instance, Namibia. You see, Namibia, they have one or two athletes in track and field, and the other are para
Yeah,
athletes. They win the
only
yes,
athletes.
and normally in Angola they have one guy or two who won gold medals. Nobody won gold medal in Angola, only this guy. So in Cape
Yeah,
Verde, we have two bronze in Olympic and Paralympic, the free was Paralympic. And there are some of them, some countries that really the best athlete,
they are para
para
athletes.
athlete. So that was with us. Something happened once that the sponsor tried to give all the conditions for the Olympic athletes, and they didn't give to us the same partnership. And then we
Yeah, yeah.
won, and they didn't win. So they realized that hey, we got it because it's the same flag, the same pro,
Athlete.
everything is okay. So I believe that each of these institution, I mean the government, the federation, the sponsor, they must understand how important is this. Very important. So
Yeah,
no
yeah,
just
yeah.
to representation, no just to show the national, you know, and the flag. But this is very important. Somebody say that the level of development of one country you can see in the inclusion of the same country. So if you are not a inclusive society, it's not development country. That's
Yeah.
have sense. So, for instance, the sponsor, of course, they would like to see their name in the podium. The government, this is health, education, inclusion. So they must to collaborate with them. You know, the federation, the sport, all the people, even the society, they must to understand how important are the Paralympic Games, not just to win a medal, just to compete, to participate and compete,
Compete. Yeah.
and to show
Yeah.
that our countries really are inclusive countries. That's not just talking, sign law, sign a statement, and yeah, and the people just applaudisement, yeah, oh, nice. But in fact, they do nothing. That is very important. Of course, the role of those institutions, government, federation, corporation, in industries, sponsors, is very important now. And together we can support and to collaborate with for the development of the Paralympic sport in our countries.
So now let's talk about sport diplomacy. What role do you believe the NPCs in Africa should play at the continental and international level?
Okay, uh, the the NPCs, that is a this is an institution who represent the parasport. The parasport is a tool for inclusion. So, as I say, if a country would like to show to the world that this society, in this case Cape Verde, is inclusive, one of the best way is to have para athletes, not just talk, because this is the best place to show everybody that we have inclusion. We give the opportunity to the people. So this is the role I think that the MPC should play. That is the tool to show everybody that our society is inclusive.
Yep.
This is the
Yep.
best place. Paralympic Games is the place where you show that an athlete with visual impaired, limited motion, any amputee or paralysis or any double amputee, blind, can do a sport at high level.
Yep.
This
Mhm.
is something special. This is like the
But
human.
how about the collaboration between the NPCs? Do you think it can be a major changement when, for example, if we see the possibility, or even in the future, to see a couple of countries getting together for a training camp like what you did in Paris, inviting others, because I think sponsors, they will be more interesting on the numbers if they see 50 athletes from across Africa organizing a camp. They will be more interesting to come to sponsors. So do you think at this moment um, that can happen in Africa with the
In fact,
NPCs?
we have some competition and some activities. We have, for instance, the CPLP competition or the PALOP. This is country speak Portuguese. We have the Commonwealth, So the country speak English. The Francophone, la francophonie, les Jeux de la francophonie. This is the for French. We have that, but we need more. We need more activities. No, only one competition every 2 years. This is nothing. More
Yeah.
activity, as you
Yeah.
say, a change of knowledge about the sport, the training, a change the organize some course of formation for classificators, for administrators, campus for athletes. That is very important. Not only for the sport, for the sport result, but for the people, and even to unite the young people with disability, that they don't feel that they are not alone. They are part of the family. We talk. I, as a second vice president of Africa, I was in 12 years. I was general secretary. I was a very big challenge because in that time, when I became the general secretary in 2010, we have only 18 NPCs active. 18. Now we have
Yeah, that was
48,
low.
50. So try to imagine
50, yeah.
the work, the job to bring these people to enjoy the movement in
Yeah.
Africa. And then we realize that we have some challenge. Some of them is speaking French, some of them is speaking English, some of them is speaking Portuguese, and the other Arab. So we need to find the way how to be together, how to enjoy the game, and how to improve and increase the competition. with the participation of everybody. So it's a big challenge, but this is right.
Yeah.
You are right. That is very good. The people like, and the sponsor would like to see more countries work together, for one objective, just to improve up to enjoy the games, of course.
Yep, true. That's true. So, but in most global sport institutions, African representatives remain low, especially from the NPCs. What is the concrete step that we can take to change that from the low representative of African administrator in the sport world?
Okay, I everything I see as a process. It's a process. I remember when I arrived to the African Paralympic Committee, that was 25 years ago. The people
Hmm.
were not involved. The people were not so professional. Now you need administrators, directors,
Yep.
even trainers, very professional. You know, the opportunity to participate in General Assembly is very important because we have a voice over there. So we need to participate. But sometimes the challenge is that the country don't give the conditions to pay the ticket, to pay the hotel, to participate. Why? Because in that kind of session, assemblies, the group take decision, and we need to
Hmm.
be involved in that decision. Somebody have a motion that say that's the last general assembly we had. We organized. We were in, I think we were in Germany, and somebody had the motion say for the small countries, the motion is to give subsidy, a grant for the small countries, grant for the athletes, you know,
Hmm.
to training, and so the minimum condition. And most of the
Yeah.
people agree. Who say that? This is one of our African, I think, Central Africa president in that time. He said
Yeah.
that the motion, and everybody laughs, of course. That was good motion because that was not only for Africa, but for Asian small countries, for South American small countries. So everybody said, "Oh, what
Yes.
good motion!" But this is who? This is an African who knows that has challenge, financial challenge, limitation to give the minimum condition of athletes. So that's kind. Do you think that the Chinas or North American or Germany they are talk about to give grant for the
Yeah.
athletes? This is nothing. They have their own money. They are developing. They spend financial big money for the athletes, so they don't think about that. We think about that. We think how to improve the National Paralympic committees. A small headquarter, a computer, phones, and something like that. Because we have not that condition.
Mhm.
We are thinking about how do you think that the biggest NPC that's Russian, Germany, Finland, they don't think about to have a small headquarter. Yeah, they
Oh,
think
yeah.
about the other, building a sport complex, para sport complex. We don't have that. So that's
Yeah.
why the
Yeah. Yeah.
participation of our African NPCs in that kind of assemblies, in that kind of session, meeting, is very important because we can expose, we can talk, we can share
So, yeah.
our challenge all the time.
Yeah. True. Nowadays, also, we people talk a lot about the athlete's post career. So, how do you think today, uh, with building a mentorship program may help para sports athletes across Africa at least to have the chance to have the possibility to work in the administration level, or maybe to join the IPC or Agitos Foundation?
Of course, in fact, we have that in Cape Verde. We create an association. The name is Lideras, like the leader, leadership, lideras in Portuguese. So, why? Because we realize that many athlete after career, after sport career, they have practically nothing. They have no job. They have no, anything. So we create the association Lidera, and this association become incubators. So
Mhm.
we are part of the incubator in Cape Verde, but the focus are the people with disability,
Yes.
athletes who. When Mr. Andrew Parsons, the president of the IPC, International Paralympic Committee, in 2024, visit Cape Verde, we showed that he was very impressed at the level that he put a post in his Facebook about this. He said, I am very impressed
Wow.
that in a small country like Cape Verde, they think about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
post-career activities. So we have 3 or 4 athletes that they have in this moment their own business because we give the opportunity to do a course of formation, specialization. We fund and create a special project to get money in the bank to create their own company. And I present that to Andrew Parsons, and he say, "What in this country?" So we have, you know, Paralympic athlete. We have 10 who who
wow.
who
Yeah,
participate in the Paralympic Games. So we have a small group. So we are thinking about
yeah,
that. We are thinking about that. So we can use all the tool exists in the country for the now disabled people. You can present or create an association or incubators or something to receive the same benefit from the government.
benefit. Yeah,
Why not? He's good. He needs some collaboration, and we got it. We have that program. That was very nice, and I believe in Africa we can implement a similar, bigger, and more specific program to give the opportunity for post-career athletes to do something for their life in the economic way.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask. Can we allow ourselves to imagine that a Pan-African training platform or alliance for the NPCs and administrator? Because I think that would be wonderful. Not to focus on only one country, but to make it more wider across Africa and train the athletes and give them the possibility to have a post career after they finish their career. But during even like the IPC General Assembly, very few African administrator take the floor. What will it take to see more African voice in those
Look
rooms?
at, we are critiqued for this way how they select the place to organize the General Assembly. Sometimes, for instance, the next one will be in South Korea, in Seoul. So the price of the participation is high, the price of the ticket is high, the price of the hotel is high. So many of African we are not ready. We have not the enough financial support to participate.
Capacity go in.
Of course, the International Paralympic Committee, the IPC, they have the a program, solidarity program, and some countries, of course, candidate for this program to get the ticket, pay the hotel and everything, of course, but it's not all the countries. I think in this moment of 50 NPCs or Africa, maybe 10 have the financial condition to go easy because the
Go to
government
yeah.
pay. So they have the financial support. The other 40, including Cape Verde, we are limitation of this kind
Yeah.
of support to participate. So one of the issues is the financial support to participate. The financial.
We paid
If
something.
if there is a one sponsor who say, all the NPCs, member of the IPC, could go to the General Assembly because a sponsor we pay will be good. But unfortunately, it's not because the capacity of the administrator or president. That's because financial situation.
think
Yeah,
so.
unfortunately.
Yeah. But let's come back to the Paralympic Games again. Now we're talking about the LA 2028 because after Paris, how is NPC Cabo Verde preparing for the road to LA 2028? What is the current strategy? Athletes development, qualification targets, partnerships that you guys are planning to, or even building right now?
Yes, particularly for Cape Verde, of course, we know we will have only 2 athletes. It's easy. It's easy for us. Every edition of the Para Game, we have some objectives. For LA, we would like to give opportunity a new athletes, okay,
Mhm.
new athletes, young, because we, in concrete, we don't go to win a medals. This is no easy. This is
Yeah.
thing bigger than we are. So with the experience we had in Paris and in Rio and in London, we, I say, we had contacted the diaspora, contact
Yes.
over there, and of course, we shared this example and this idea to International Paralympic Committee. They are follow us. They see what will happen. Why Cape
That's
Verde
true.
come to Paris 1 month before the game where they were? So we were in party
Yeah.
day. Oh, what is that? How you get that? So in this moment, they are thinking about the International Paralympic to do that. For instance, small countries NPCs could contact a big country who would like to work with them. For instance,
Mhm.
Commonwealth members, they could give opportunity to the small countries, member of the Commonwealth group, to benefit of the condition. So the
Yeah.
French speaker countries can go to Paris or to France or to Belgium, even to Canada, to to
Yep.
approach with that biggest developing para sport countries. So that is the idea. We have a good relationship. We are Portuguese country. We have very good
Mhm.
relationship with Brazil, very strong in para
So,
sport. With Portugal in Europe, Brazil in South America, and using the diaspora, the athletes. And
mhm.
we know we have only 2 athletes. We don't decide who will be, but we have about 5 or 6 athletes of them in the last 2 years. In 20, even 2027, we will decide who will have a good level to compete. So we have more two
Okay.
years to select of these 6 in the individual para sport to go. So we have a plan. Of course, the sponsors are very important. We have already
Mhm.
the master plan to present to the government. So for this
Yeah.
Paralympic period, we would like to do this at least 3 or 4 competition every year, campus every year, you know, national competition to select and other time to select and repeat this to find the athlete who really have that level. We are focused, our strategy focused in the local athletes, not go to the diaspora.
Mhm.
Of course, if appear one Cape Verdean in Boston, we have a big community in Boston. If appear one world champion, high level Cape Verdean who would like to compete for
Yeah.
Cape Verde, of course will be welcome. But the
Yeah.
plan
So,
is to work with the local athletes,
local
yes,
one.
to
Yeah.
give all the minimum condition.
But as we speak, many NPCs are rebuilding after Paris, like yours. But what would you advise them in the NPCs in Africa to prioritize if they want to succeed in LA?
So one of the aspect that's very important we talk about is to have partners. You know, if I saw that, for instance, Senegal have a high level, good example of para sport, of course, I will call my colleague and brother from Senegal to ask him. So you must to be humbled and see, hey man, I need your experience. Let's share the experience. That is very important.
Yep.
That don't think that you are the best and you could do everything alone. Now, the first is to see your neighbors, to see your colleagues who have good condition, who are successful, and to work with them. This is the first, and then to really focus in this issue. Not just okay
Yeah.
in 2028 in January we will decide. No, no, start now. Planning. You know, to plan a
Hmm.
strategic plan, as we say for LA, what we will do every year. I don't know how to do. Ask to your friend, ask to your brother,
Different.
colleague.
Yeah.
Hey,
Colleague.
guys,
Yeah.
please,
Hmm.
how did you do? Please, can you share your plan? I would like to see, and maybe I can do some similar in, and adapted to my condition. Okay, that is this is my advice for the people.
Yeah.
Be interested in that issue, not just
Yes.
let's go, and
Thank you very much for all of these insights. But before we wrap up, I would like to hear some of your personal anecdotes that you have been living in the Olympic Games, like moments that can make people laugh to hear. If you have some moment you can share with us, so
yes, I have one of Quebec that was in Tokyo 2020.
yeah,
What was 2021? We had one girl. She's Quebec living in Portugal. She's blind, and the guide is his boyfriend. So
okay,
he before go to Tokyo in Portugal, we had a pre games training. He say, Rodrigo, Mr. Rodrigo, President, I don't know. I will ask my girlfriend to marry it with, I don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
when. If before the game, that could be bad. During the game, I don't know, and maybe after.
yeah,
Even
the game, yeah,
he bought the what you say, the
ring,
ring, very
the ring.
beautiful.
Hmm.
And he say, I will give you to your president, and I don't know. I say, okay, let's see. During the games, we will choose the best moment to do. Yeah,
Right time.
in that when we arrived to Tokyo, that was one journalist from Great Britain, I think, and she
Hmm.
the objective of this journalist was to count some histories. Very nice
Yeah.
histories, very curious, and so. And she sent me a message. I would like one good history anecdote of your athletes. And I say that, I say, let me tell you something. This is, I invent in this moment. I say, that the guide of our blind athlete, the female, he will ask to marry during the game. She say, what? This is not real. I said, yes, it's real. I didn't know. In that moment I invent. I say, okay, let me think this if it possible. I just say when. I say
Yeah.
when finish the next competition, when she participate.
Yeah.
And she say, oh, I would like to
Yeah.
see this. I would like the history. I say, okay, I will give you the first imagine, the first interview, and everything. But if you promise me to do to record when
The video recorded. Yeah.
finish the competition, and you promise me to have a camera direct,
The camera and her.
direct.
Yeah.
And she said, deal, we will do. And I talk with the guy. I say,
Mm-hmm.
is the next competition. When you finish, you will be in your knee and ask her because
And you do
will
the
be
proposal.
the
Yeah.
TV broadcasting will cover all this. And he said, that's what we will do. And we did. We did. We did. And you can see that the Cape Verdean in the most romantic, that but nominate the most romantic moment during the Tokyos. You know, remember
Wow.
Tokyo had no
Yeah.
public because the COVID time. So so the
COVID time.
broadcasting TV was very important to follow the games.
Yep.
So before
Hmm.
the competition, the guy talked with the other competitor and said, in the finish, I will ask my
We
girlfriend to
propose
marry
it.
me. And they say, okay, we will do a round. And say, okay. And we finish the competition. He asked the girlfriend, I mean the athlete, blind, to wait in the line, the finish line. And he went
Yeah.
to me and I gave him the ring and
The
he
ring.
went and the TV was covered everything, man. That was crazy. And I was
Yeah.
running in the stadium, and this guy me
Good.
asked her to marry it. And they married after that. And that was the most fantastic moment, romantic at least, during the Tokyo Paralympic Games. But when we arrived to the Paralympic village, the other athletes and the training and administrator, they come to me and they say, Rodrigo, you are a very smart guy. You didn't win one medal. And all the TVs, all the journalists would like to talk with your athletes. You are very smart guy. This is a
That's a good way
good
of
work. You can see
communication.
that in
Yeah.
the YouTube. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, definitely will
yeah.
check it. What would be your the final message that you would like to leave to athletes, to young leaders or decision makers about the future of para sports and African sports diplomacy in general for the final word?
Yeah, the parasport is a phenomenon. The parasport is a phenomenon. It's a that kind of thing that it is special. During the London Paralympic Game, London, I was in 4 edition, but I saw in the big bus, that red bus, a big imagine of one Paralympic athlete, yeah,
Running.
running, and they
Yeah.
say the
Mm.
superhuman. I saw this
Yeah.
superhuman, the superhuman. I say that man is very impressed. So we have the opportunity, and for sure we have in our countries as superhumans. They are the athlete with disability. The para athlete are superhumans. Let's do something to show them that the world gives them an opportunity to show their performance. I would like that the more, not just athletes, young leaders, and who take decision, see the Paralympic movement as a extraordinary tool for the inclusion
Mhm.
and respect the right of the people with disability. This is the best that focus, and you will be proud of that. I am in parasport for the last 30 years, and I'm very proud what we achieved, what we did, and especially when you talk and somebody do an interview of athlete in Cape Verde and they say the Paralympic Committee give me the opportunity. That is the key.
Yeah, that's the
Give the
key. Yeah.
opportunity to them. That is very proud. Even the president, the premier minister, everybody had proof of one athlete. So you have the young leader, you have the opportunity to give to your country one of the most proud moments in your life and maybe in the life of your country. That's a have and para athlete in the podium maybe. That is very important. That is very sensitive.
So what will be then your last words as the conversation come to an end?
Yes, thank you very much, Mustafa, for this opportunity. I hope more leaders in parasport have this opportunity to talk. I am in this moment, I'm thinking about the leadership in Africa because it's very important to have leaders that really believe in parasport, not use the institution for self promotion of politics or religion. Just think that the Africa deserve an opportunity to show
Yes,
that we have a good people, a good societies, and extraordinary para athletes in Africa. They know, and we will show maybe in Los Angeles we will have that opportunity. Thank you very much, Mustafa, for this
definitely.
opportunity.
Right. Thank you very much, Rodrigo, and thank you for this deep and generous conversation. Like always, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And the Paralympic movement is more than a sport. That, like you say, is it's a human's right mission, a cultural shift, and a diplomatic frontier. So stay tuned for more voice, more visions, and more movement right here on Africa Talk Sports podcast, where Africa speaks for itself. It was Mustafa Sal, your host. Thank you very much.
Thank you.